And we're off. Okay, we're good. You ready?
Yep.
This isn't beer, like
It's diet
for the
soda.
folks or the folks that are listening. Like, oh, they're cracking up beers. Nah, we're fucking old. I drink it Diet Pepsi, caffeine free. My wife.
How do you drink with the piece in your mouth?
Oh, I just drink. You can move the piece over. Just move it back.
Sir.
Congrats on your fucking giant bowl, dude.
Yeah, yours too.
Yeah, so I guess I wanted to do an episode with just me and you, so we could tell our stories of how the season went, and then because we're gonna get together for a second episode Thursday at 7 if you want to go, where Bubba, James, Scott, Mitch if he can go, Caleb will be there. Be
really?
A giant fucking podcast. Yeah.
Here?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm not sure how we're going to get everybody recorded, but it should be fun. And I just figured we'd do 2 episodes because if we did an episode with everybody telling everybody's story.
Yeah, it'd be too long.
Dude, it'd be like
3 hours.
Yeah, it'd be 3-4 hours and be like, Jesus Christ. Not that people wouldn't want to listen to that, but so I guess let's just start into it. I mean, this doesn't have to be a long podcast or anything. What were your goals before the beginning of the year? Like, what were you out to do this year? Because you drew a good tag.
So I drew a Roosevelt tag.
Right.
How many of those do we have in the state, like, unit-wise?
I don't know.
I know there's a couple, right? A couple different units that you can draw for Rosies.
I know of one for sure.
Well, yeah, the one I had. Yeah. So anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
I drew that tag, and I just wanted a mature animal this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I don't know, numbers don't really.
Were you going for your biggest bull? Like you were like, I want to shoot my biggest bull.
Well, I always want to shoot my biggest bull.
Right.
I just 270 plus was a number in my head.
Yeah.
But I don't know how. If you put a 260 bull in front of me, I probably would have shot it.
I would have shot it.
So, anyways, that was kind of my expectations. Just holding out. I had 2 weeks off. The middle 2 weeks of season I had off.
Why those 2 weeks?
That is my, from the 10th to the 20th for me.
Right. Seems
to be the best days.
Right.
So that's why I take those 2 weeks off every year.
That's only 10 days.
It's only 10 days. Well, I take the 2 weeks off, but that 10 days right there.
I see.
Is money.
So you started the 10th, and then you went all the way into like the 24th, 25th, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, approximately.
Yeah.
Basically half the season.
Yeah. But that was kind of my expectation, just to kill a mature bull. And, there's 4 of us. So.
Right. So it was you, Penny,
my buddy Nick, and my buddy Jace.
And I put Nick's bull in the collage too because you were a part of that.
Yes.
Not because I know Nick, but because you were a part of it.
Right.
So I figured you'd tell that story too.
Yeah, I'll tell the whole season if you want me to.
Yeah. So basically you've been waiting for years. You would not let me talk you into an Eastern Oregon tag. You stuck to your guns.
Well, I had a lot of points and I needed to burn them. And I've came to the point where I'm like, I need to draw a tag, and I don't have any interest in going over east.
Right.
If I go over east, I might as well just go out of state.
Yeah,
is my thought.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of points. The wife and I both had a lot of points, and we carried Nick and Jace over with us, and we all got that tag. And opening weekend, you want me to just dive into season?
Yeah, go into it.
So opening weekend, Labor Day weekend, we saw a lot of freaking cows. Is that your dog?
Yeah, she's chewing on a deer horn.
So a lot of cows early on. The first couple of days of season, no bulls at all except for Spikes. And I have a buddy.
Here, take that.
That was hunting closer to. I won't say any names actually. He was hunting inland.
Okay.
Like 10 miles, and they were getting on bulls like right off the get-go. And
right.
I talked to them. A couple different buddies were hunting inland there. And they're like, yeah, man, the freaking rut's on. So I basically jumped ship.
Grab that fucking dog toy from her. She is going to town on that thing. I can hear it in the headphones. God dang it.
So I
Thank you.
came inland. It's like 10, 15 miles. And right off the get-go, I found some rubs. I was by myself that day. I think Penny stayed at home that day to watch the kids.
Opening weekend.
This is Labor Day.
So Labor Day.
So Monday. It's opening weekend.
Basically, yeah.
And my buddies, Zach and Nick, they were hunting like 15 miles away from me. And I found some fresh rubs and fresh tracks. And I called them. I'm like, hey, man, I got a bull over here.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys should, meet up with me and we'll see if we can find them. So they met up with me. And that was probably midday, but by the time they met up with me, and Zach and I went one way, and we came up with this game plan. We went up the ridge one way, and Nick kind of, I don't know, went off another way, and we're just trying to find the elk at this point. And Zach and I actually ended up finding the bull, and we're looking at him, and he's not too far away. He had no idea we were there. He's actually bedded in a freaking road.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Zach's like, hey, man, you want to shoot that thing? And I'm like, I don't. I want to hold off. It's early. I still have 2 weeks of vacation. The bull's like a 240, 250 class 5x5.
Big 5 for the coast. That's a shooter.
It's a shooter. So we got a hold of Nick and told Nick to get up there, and he gets up there, and I'm like, hey, dude, okay, this is your bull. As far as I'm concerned, this is your bull if you want him. I'm like, but if you don't shoot him, I will shoot him. We can't both pass on a 250 class 5x5.
Right.
We're going to look like fucking idiots if we both pass. And we, come up empty-handed later on in the year. We're going to look stupid. So he ended up wanting to shoot it. And Zach played caller that day and called that bull in. We worked him for like an hour.
Is Zach pretty good on the calls?
Yeah, very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
He strikes me like he would be.
For being as young as he is, that guy's a fucking...
He's a killer.
He's a killer. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that guy knows how to fill a tag.
So anyways, we worked that bull for like an hour, and finally that bull started to lose interest, and he kind of started pushing back to his cows, and Zach made the right call. They pushed in close to that bull and got him to come in. Nick smoked that bull, I think, 18 yards frontal is what it was. So
were they trying to bring him away from the herd?
Well, he was away from his herd, but he was starting to go back to his herd, and they cut him off on
got in between him and his herd.
Somewhat,
yes. That's pretty smart.
And he ended up coming in. So when we were set up on that bull, we were actually on the other side of the creek, and I already knew that wasn't going to work. So once they got closer to him and on his side, he came right in.
Okay.
So
that bull ended up being a big 5-point. You guys killed
Yep.
him. Was Penny there? Penny was. She was at home with the kids for that one.
Yep.
And how many days of hunting had you guys been out?
Well, that was Labor Day, so that was the third day of season.
Bull down, third day.
Well,
of season.
yes. And Jace killed. I forgot to throw that out there. Jace killed a cow opening day.
Was he new?
He's never hunted.
Never hunted.
And
he used that tag to kill a cow.
Killed a cow opening day.
Was he stoked?
Well, I wasn't there for the actual kill, but when I met up with him, he seemed like he was kind of bummed, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, I probably fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
but he got the full experience of the
yes.
fucker was laying in the fetal position on the pack out.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, yeah, it was bad. It's like,
really?
welcome to bow hunting, man.
Yeah. Well, now we get to find
brutal.
out if you're an elk hunter. That's what I tell people like
Right.
when they're first pack. I'm like, well, now what? Well, now we get to find out if you're an elk hunter because some people are like, fuck this afterwards.
And, I think he is excited now that season's over with. Dude, how many people kill an elk opening day their first time ever hunting? Not very many. I know it's a cow, but still.
But I mean, it's rare.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the good graces of being in your group. So
Right.
He got pretty lucky with his hunting partners, in my opinion. But, I mean, there's a lot of elk in that unit, too.
There is. I don't think there's as many elk, but obviously I don't think they're as pressured, and
Correct.
The quality
higher
is better for sure.
I almost want to get that tag now.
Dude, it's
just because I know where I know there has been some giants.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, man, if I want to go kill a really big giant, I should just go to Eastern Oregon.
Right. Well, if you want to kill Big Rosie, that's definitely the place.
That's
to
a
kill.
great unit. But I would have shot my bull with your tag too, though.
Oh, your
which
bull's
is the problem. Which
stud.
I'll probably never kill another bull like that in that unit.
Well, I said that, dude.
I know.
The day you had your bull. So,
Right.
funny story. Garrett and I actually shot our bulls the same day.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
So, I came over to your house to get hands on that thing because we have history with this bull. And in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm never gonna fucking kill him one this big. And then I go out that night and freaking call in that dinosaur and shot him.
So let's go back to you guys got a cow and a 5-point on the ground in the first 3 days.
Yep.
And so you have the bull. Nick is super stoked with it. I would be. It's a beautiful 5-point.
Yep.
That was like the 5-point that we were chasing the year prior.
Yes.
I told Shelby that, and she's like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Yeah, that was a good bull," and I'd shoot that bull every year and never look back. But so fast forward. So what happened between when you shot when Nick shot the 5-point? What happened after that? Did you guys go on a dry spell? Or were you in?
I was in a dry spell for maybe just a handful of days, but I ended up getting on a 7x6.
And you're on vacation at this point, so you're hunting every day.
I believe so. Yes, I am on vacation at this point, and I get on that 7x6, and I was on that thing for 3 different days. And so the first day I got on that bull, Zach was with me, and he had his cows, and we moved in below him because of the wind,
right?
The way it was going, and they were up feeding, and Zach's like, do you think I should call at him? I'm like, well, man, we'll see. Every bull's different,
Right. You don't know until you know.
You don't exactly. So we ended up calling at him, and he did exactly what most big bulls do. He rounded up his cows and
took off.
Gone.
Yeah.
And
you're like, shit.
As we're doing that, though, this is funny. I don't think I've told you this. As that happens, I can hear a bull raking in the freaking alders next to me.
Really?
Like maybe sounded like 60 yards away.
Oh, shit.
In this alder patch.
No, you didn't tell me that.
And Zach's, I look at Zach, and Zach's like, dude, let's just go after this one. I'm like, fair enough. I'm like, let's see what he is. So Zach's calling at this bull, and I can hear that bull like raking his horns and shit, but my attention's up the hill still. I'm looking back and forth between where that bull could pop out, and I'm looking up the hill because I've seen big bulls push their cows off and come back.
And at this time, did you see the bull, the herd bull? And
yes, I knew.
You knew he was big?
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you knew he was there prior to you hunting it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I knew that about that one because my buddy told me.
Cool.
But he had already tagged out at this point.
Copy. So he's like, hey, go hunt this bull.
Basically, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep. And so I'm like, I got my attention focused up the hill, and I remember doing this. So I like take a step forward, and I'm like, I get this pretty good sized tree in between me and where I think that herd bull is gonna like pop over to maybe look at me, and then I'm just hanging out, and I'm like, dude, let's just go after that bull. I turn around, I'm like, Zach, let's go up the ridge after that bull. He's like, was that 5-point not good enough? I'm like, what fucking 5-point? He's like, that freaking bull stepped out of the alder patch, looked at you, and then you fucking stepped behind a tree and you went back in. I'm like, I didn't even see it, dude.
Was it a big one?
I guess he was a nice 5-point.
Oh.
About like the one Nick killed.
Oh, really?
But I had no freaking clue. So I feel like
well, it's a good thing he probably didn't step out.
Well, I wouldn't have killed the bull.
You might have smoked him.
Well, I probably would have.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But so that happened. I felt stupid, and we ended up getting back on that bull. They fed up into this like BLM thin, and we got ahead of the herd. Zach called in 2 raghorns to me, and they were like 30 yards. I actually let them walk.
So you passed on 3 bulls now. One unintentionally.
In one day, yes.
One unintentionally. 4 bulls if you count Nick's 5-point. Okay.
Yep. And
4 bulls down. Done.
We get that bull. He's with his cows. He's not going to come in. So I'm just trying to sneak through that thinning as quick as I can because we're losing light at this point.
Okay.
And I get that bull to 90 yards.
Big bull.
Yes. 90 yards, and he just kept walking, no shot, and it got dark on us, so we backed out. Came back the next day by myself, and they were still in that thinning, and I sat up. It's like they're going to cross the road to go back up to bed in this big timber knob, and I set up perfectly. and the cows are funneling across the road into this other thin, and I'm 40 yards, and they're single file. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, dude, this bull is so fucking dead. He has no idea.
Right.
He comes out to the road, crosses the road, gets in the thin, and all he had to do is take a few more steps.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to kill the biggest bull I've ever killed. Because he's like a 290 to 300 7x6. He's a stud bull. And I'm getting ready to draw back, and that bull just like stops. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
That's usually how it works.
And he turns up the hill, walks maybe 40 yards up the hill, gets in the thick shit, and then crosses.
Really?
Yep.
Smart old boy.
So I saw that, and I've never witnessed a bull do that. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that son of a bitch. Like I don't know if he knew I was there.
It's that sixth sense, dude.
It could be. So that happened, and oh man, where did I go from there? Third day.
How far did you have him at that? Like when you were waiting for him to cross
Well-
with his cows? How far away were those cows?
Well, the cows were 40.
40.
Yeah. So
So you were thinking, I'm going to have this fucker at 40
yes. Yeah, for sure.
at broadside, and I'm going to shoot him.
Yep.
Then he went out to 80 and crossed over 90.
He went up the ridge and crossed, yeah. I don't
sucks.
know exactly how far it was, but roughly.
Okay.
And then I came back the third day and got on him, and they were up feeding, and I bugled at him, and I did chase that thing. He rounded up his cows, but I went after him. And I actually ended up calling him into 30 yards, but I had a madrone tree.
You're solo
Yep.
that day.
Yep. Madrone tree in between us, no shot, and that was it with him for a few days. After that, he actually kind of disappeared on me. I got on a couple dinks. I passed on again. And then
So how many bulls have you passed up at this point? 6?
well, you can say 6, but I think a couple of the bulls were the same bulls,
Oh,
like
I see.
same dinks.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because I'm just hunting this one general area for the most part.
Uh-huh.
And then, well, you killed your bull. I kind of had a little bit of a dry spell till the day you killed your bull. I mean, the day I killed my
The
bull.
15th.
Yep. Came over here, looked at your bull, and then I went out solo, and the wife calls me up when I'm up there, and she's like, I really want to go hunting. Well, I'm like, I'll pick you up. Let's go. And we only got a couple hours of light.
Yeah.
So went, picked her up, and we went back up to where that 7x6 has been, and park, walk over the edge, and I just bugled down in this bottom, and instantly freaking just a growl. I'll have to bring the recording. We got that on film.
Oh, really? I'd
And
love to hear
It's
that.
like a little growl with a squeak at the end, and
Huh.
it sounds just like the herd bull. So in my mind, I'm like, "There's the herd bull."
So is this another tip from a buddy? Or how did you guys locate this bull?
Well, I'm still after the 7x6.
The 7x6.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will tell you that part later.
Yeah.
My buddy Aaron had actually saw this bull
The one
the
you
year
shot.
the year before.
Okay.
So, anyways, get that response, and the wife and I, drop in quite a ways. I don't want to bugle at him too much, because in my mind, I'm like, that's the herd bull. He's got the cows. If
He's
I
gonna
bugle,
take off.
he's going to take off.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's done every freaking time I've bugled at him. We drop in to where I think he's at, and then rip off another bugle, and he freaking torches off again, and he just starts coming in. You can hear him coming in, and I'm looking down, and here he comes, and he's frontal, and he's not that super wide. But what is he? 38 inches, 39 inches.
Yeah, 38.
So he's not like crazy wide. So, and I couldn't see his time length, and we have one rangefinder, and I'm like, all right, babe, here's a rangefinder. He's not that big. Just get ready, and we're gonna call this thing in. And I'm like peeking over the freaking edge of this knob, and he freaking turns broadside a little ways, and I'm like, give me the fucking rangefinder. That's a true story. She's like, why? I'm like, biggest bull I've ever seen. Biggest bull I've ever seen. Give that thing back. And so she just kind of hangs back
That's
at
hilarious.
that point. And so the wind's kind of blowing downhill to the left, and he's coming from downhill to the right on this knob. And the way he's heading, I figured he's going to bust if he comes this certain way. So I actually dropped around the knob to the left, and I bugled in that draw. And that bull, dude, I've never had a big bull come in so quick. Like, normally they don't.
And this is still the 7x6.
No, this is the bull I killed.
Oh, this is the bull you killed?
yes. I
Oh.
thought it was a 7x6.
I see.
This bull comes in instead
Okay.
because they're the same general area.
Yeah.
So I'm hunting that 7x6, but I
crazy.
killed this one. You know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, he comes up over the knob and he's looking down that next draw where I'd called. It worked out perfectly. I was able to draw back, and freaking release, and I just
How far?
70.
70 yards?
Yeah, furthest I've ever taken a
Really?
shot.
That's a poke. But you shoot out to 80.
I'll shoot out further than 80, but I would say I'm comfortable out to 80. You know, by the
Killing.
time-
You're like, I can kill
yeah,
shit at 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, however, as soon as that arrow was released, I fucking knew. Bad shot.
Really?
It hit him back. The bull kind of whirls around, and I see blood just pouring out.
Oh.
So I'm like, it's back, but man, he is bleeding. And you know, he doesn't really run off, man. He just kind of walks down and disappears down toward the creek.
Shit.
And I call Aaron like right away,
Uh-huh.
the old bloodhound. That dude is fucking legit. You guys, man, I wish you need to meet the guy. The guy is fucking.
How old is he?
He's 2 years older than me, I think. I think he's 36.
He's just a tracker.
Fucking impressive.
Really?
I've never met a tracker like this guy.
Interesting.
But call him right away, because if the animal's dead, he will find it.
Really?
I mean, I 100% say that with confidence. He's that good. The guy grew up Mennonite.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
So for fun, he was tracking him.
dude, it's like it's his thing.
Yeah.
The best blacktail hunter still hunting
Yeah.
blacktail hunter I've ever met.
No shit.
Kills fucking giant bucks every year.
Really?
Dude, he's legit. Like, he's the real deal.
I'll have to interview him.
Dude, he's such a nice guy too.
Really?
Oh yeah, one of my best friends. He's a good dude.
Now, Mennonites don't believe in, like, technology?
If I know. Pilgrims,
Yeah.
basically.
They wear the big hats.
He's not Mennonite. His
Okay.
family is Mennonite.
Oh, okay.
He grew up that way, but
I
he kind of yes. But dude, the dude's. I don't know. I can't freaking say enough good things about the guy. The dude is badass. It makes me feel like I don't know
sold.
what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
And call him up. I'm like, dude, I freaking shot a good bull. He's like, well, how big? I'm like, it sounds like the one that you saw. He's the one that saw that bull. I'm like, it sounds like the bull you saw last year. He's like, the 340 bull? I'm like, dude, I don't know how big. It's fucking big. You know? So he comes up, and we got Zach, Aaron, me, and the wife. And we start blood trailing this thing, and, you know, pretty shitty blood trail. We follow it down into the creek. Around 2 in the morning, we ended up bumping them.
Oh, no.
Yep. So,
Really?
yeah,
How
it was-
far?
From where I'd shot,
Yeah.
only a couple 100 yards.
Really?
So right there, that told me he's hurting bad.
Right.
So we
He's not with the herd. He's by himself.
well, I don't think he was with the herd. He's close to the herd.
You think maybe he was a satellite bull to the 7x6?
I think he is getting ready to come take the cows, maybe.
Interesting.
Or he's just not as dominant as that bull, because that other 7x6 is a big bodied son of a bitch.
Right.
Like he's
Interesting. but
a
maybe
bigger bodied elk,
not
just
as
not.
mean.
Yeah, he's a bigger bodied elk for sure.
Interesting.
So, anyways, we bumped him at 2 in the morning. We back out of there. Tell Aaron, I'm like, hey man, let's just meet here at like 6 in the morning.
Mhm.
Go home, sleep for a couple hours, get up there, park at Aaron's rig. Aaron's already fucking gone. He's already down in there like blood trailing, So I end up getting in there, and Aaron meets me, and he's like, dude, that 7x6, the other bull, the herd bull and the cows were down in the creek.
Oh, shit.
When he's down in there that next morning. He's like, I've been watching that bull for like an hour.
Really?
I'm like, really? That's awesome. So should have had the wife with us that day.
Yeah.
Because she could have killed that bull too. But get back on the blood almost right away. We follow it maybe another 100 yards. It's taken us a long time though. To get 100 yards with that blood trail probably took us an hour.
Really?
Very shitty blood, tall grass. I mean, that the grass that grows in the creeks.
Yeah. The
That
pampas, the big
kind of
pampas
yep,
grass.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to find blood in there. And we bumped him again.
Really?
Yep. So we
How far from the last time you bumped him?
probably only 100 yards, 200 yards.
That's
between.
it?
Yeah, he's not making it
he's
very far.
hurting.
Yeah, and at that point, Aaron and I were talking. We're like, he's gonna die. It's just a matter of when.
Right.
And we wait a while, and then we start to look for blood again where we last bumped him, and we're just not finding blood at this point. So we ended up hiking way down the creek. This was Aaron's plan. We're going to hike way down the creek, get ahead of where we think he is, and just start pushing up the creek. And he's hurt bad enough. We're hoping if we bump him, we'll get a shot, which is unlikely because it's so fucking thick in there.
Mm-hmm.
But working our way up the creek, he took the low ground, I took the high ground, which I don't know if that was a good idea.
Makes sense because if you have a better shot.
But he doesn't have a weapon. But still,
right.
Whatever. He bumps it. At least we know where it is.
Right.
Ish. So
yeah.
I take the high ground. He takes the low ground. In like a half hour into pushing up that creek, I stopped to take a break, and I'm just sitting there, and I swear to God, I heard a cough. I grew up on a ranch. It sounded like a beef cow coughing, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that's probably my bull. But it's behind me, up on the ridge.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I go hike down, find Aaron. I'm like, any luck? And he's like, no. He's like, I don't know what to do at this point. I'm like, well, I heard a cough up the ridge. I'm like, let's go check it out. And Aaron's like, yeah, let's go check that out. So we're hiking back over to where I heard that cough, and we just kind of take a little break, and we're talking, and Aaron's like trying to talk me up, like, man. He's like, you're going to get this bull. He's like, if we have to, we're going to camp down here until we find it. I'm like, shit. Okay. I'm like, dude, I'm totally down. This bull has my name.
Once in a lifetime, you better put in a once in a lifetime
even if
effort.
we didn't find it, that bull had my tag. I mean, I'm not going to go shoot another one.
Right.
I mean, that's how I felt, at least. And honestly, dude, I was like lowest of lows. Aaron's like trying to talk me up, and he's like, well, all right, Brad. He's like, I'll tell you what. He's like, well, check this out. If we don't see anything, go hike out, get some water, get some food.
How far of a hike is it?
So it's a ways. It's probably 500-600 yards up the hill.
Oh, wow. Okay, so not a mile or anything.
Yeah, maybe it's a little further. I don't know. It's a ways. It's quite the pull. Kind of reminds me of that bull from a couple of years ago that everyone helped pack out.
Oh, Anthony's bull?
No. Mine. My 260.
Oh, okay,
bull.
Yeah. Oh, shit hike like that.
Shitty hike. Maybe a little bit further, but not as steep, if that makes sense.
It's easy to get down there. It's a shit to get out.
Yes. So I end up, anyways, I'm sorry about that. Got off track. So Aaron tells me, he's like, go get some water, get some food, go get Nick and Zach, and we'll start gritting if this doesn't pan out. And I'm like down there about to fucking cry. Dude, I feel so shitty. And we start pushing in to where I heard that. And I don't even know how to describe the sound. It sounds like this over-exaggerated cow sound. That the bull made that sound, and I'm like, what's that? And Aaron's like, dude, that's your bull. I'm like, you sure it's not a cow? I'm like, I've never heard that sound in my life, dude. It sounded fucking wild. I've never heard that sound in my life. And then all of a sudden, it just starts coughing. You can hear him like, which is sad,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, oh, dude, that's my bull.
Him.
This is him. This is happening. Like, we fucking got him, So he's doing that so loud, and it's continuous. So we're able to walk right up on him. And I knock an arrow.
How far from him?
How far were we?
Yeah.
60 yards.
Really?
Yeah. So close, but so thick in there, it's like you can't see shit.
Yeah.
So I knock an arrow, and I got this like manzanita bush in my way, and I'm like looking over because you can see dust coming up where he's like kicking. He's
really?
Trying to get up, but he can't, and the dust is kicking up, and I draw back and I step out, and Aaron's like, "Don't shoot." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "He's dead," and I'm like, "What?" And sure shit, dude, he just died.
Right in front of you.
Fucking in front of me.
How far from, like, 60 yards from where you're drawing on him? How far?
Oh, like from here to the end of your bed.
Oh, shit. Like
not
15 feet.
15 feet.
Fuck.
And he just dies right in front of me.
Really?
And I have my finger on the trigger already, and I just, like, kind of let down. Fucking launch an arrow. Aaron's like, what the fuck was that? Well, why'd you do that? I'm like, victory shot. I'm like, I didn't mean to do it. And he's like, oh, okay.
Like a victory shot. Shoot one over the bow.
Yeah, launch one out in outer space. But yeah, dude, and just overwhelming. Like, I don't know, the whole thing was overwhelming, man. I felt like
That would be nuts.
I didn't cry or anything, but dude, I was like, I don't know, relieved for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It's almost like it's a God thing, honestly. I don't say that much.
I remember you
but
telling me that.
it's like God was like, "Hey, man, okay, you guys
You put the effort
put in the effort. Here's your elk."
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how to explain it. Like
How many hours did it take you to find that bull?
I had it figured out. It was either 17 or 18 hours
That's
from
crazy.
the time I shot
And you walked up as he was expiring.
as he died.
That's
but the only
insane.
reason that happened, is because we were in the area and we heard him.
And you didn't give up.
We didn't give up, and he was breathing so heavy that we were able to walk right up on him.
That's nuts.
So just keep after it. Like, you can't give up, man.
Right. Well, and there's a lot to learn in that too, because if he didn't go very far, that is obviously a sign.
Exactly. The first time we bumped him, I knew he was going to die.
Yeah, you're like, he only went like 100, 200 yards. That's
It's
a dead elk.
Exactly. It's just going to take him a while.
Right.
So, it sucked, but in the long run, we kept after it and we
And
got
to
him.
me, if you bump, like, because James's bull, and he'll get into this, I'm sure, on the next podcast, but he had a bull this year where it only went, a couple hundred yards, but then it bedded,
Yeah.
and it was shoulder shot.
Was it?
Yeah, and then it just joined up with the herd, and it didn't want to leave the herd.
Right.
And it's still alive today. I think they saw it walking around the other day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But it was like, so it's not always a dead bull if it only goes a couple hundred yards, but I feel like if you bump it, and keep in mind, these are Rosies too.
this thing did not go uphill one time.
Not once.
Not once.
Interesting.
Just stayed in the creek.
So where did you end up hitting? Like, what did your arrow get?
We think it's the liver or kidney. I mean, we don't.
I mean,
didn't
it could
dig in.
live that long.
I
with
looked
the
at the
shit
lungs
liver.
and heart.
Yeah,
Nothing.
pure good.
Yes. So I had to hit back in liver or kidney. This is the only thing I can think of.
Interesting.
We did see some piss where he was pissing and it was
Uh-huh.
bloody. So that kind of made us think kidney.
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Interesting. Does a bad liver cause piss?
I have no idea.
Bloody piss.
Not sure.
That's I know it can change the color, right? I don't know. I'm not a
I'll have to ask
veterinarian.
Aaron.
I'm not
I'll
a-
ask Aaron. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Interesting. Yeah, there's always so much we can learn. Like, I learned on my bull this year on my blood trail, and I'll get into that later, but it was just like shit that you don't think about. And it just seems like when it's your bull, you it's hard to think clearly or rational.
It is.
Like, you have to have somebody there that knows their shit, even if you know your shit.
Well, dude, like
Aaron,
when Aaron shows up on the blood trail, he wants to know all these details. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I blacked out. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't remember.
I tried. So he's blood trailed, helped me blood trail before. Like my bull in 18, I shot frontal and I didn't think it was a good hit.
Mm-hmm.
That bull died only in 60 yards, but he came and he was like same thing. He's like, "Whoa, where'd you hit?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I just like. So on this bull, man, I really tried to like remember details, and I told him everything. I tried to process everything and remember everything. That way, I can
remember. Yeah,
because Aaron, he's not there when the shot happens, so he wants to know that stuff. So it helps him a lot when he's blood trailing.
Makes sense. I mean, when you come up to a blood trail, think about what you're going to ask somebody. Like,
Exactly.
How far was the shot?
Exactly.
Where did you hit it? Pass through, not pass through. Did you
Right.
find your arrow?
Where'd he go?
Where did he
What
go?
direction?
Exactly.
So-
How did he run off? How did he react? Like, you're asking all these questions. Sorry, I live next to the ambulance bay place. But, I mean, you're just asking all these questions. I mean, was there any questions that he asked that you're like, what the fuck?
No, everything made sense. For sure.
Yeah, I'd like to. So Caleb, I got to experience Caleb's tracking skills, and that guy's pretty good too. He just takes his time.
This is fucking Camas Valley guys.
Right. They got nothing better to do than just be out in the woods and tracking animals, apparently.
Yeah, Caleb's cool too. I like that
Such
guy.
a good guy. Dude, I saw him on 2 different bulls this year. James's and my bull. And he was on Bubba's bull too, I think. And he was on a guy named I forget his Weston or something.
Oh,
like that.
copy. Yeah, that guy. Yep.
Yep.
So I'll tell a little story for your listeners about Aaron. This is when I knew Aaron was like fucking legit. Dude, we're deer hunting one time. He's out ahead of me. So has no idea what's going on behind him. And this, I may have told the story before.
Know.
You've probably heard it. We're walking up the trail, and this bird starts like fucking attacking me, right? And I'm like swatting at it, and he turns around, looks, and I'm like, "What was that about?" And he's like, "Bird has a nest." I'm like, "Well, in my mind, I'm like, well, yeah, that makes sense, whatever." Right. Dude, there's so many. We're in the woods. There's so many trees that a nest can be in. That dude walks right up to the tree that the nest is in. The first place he parts the branches, there's a nest with 4 eggs in it.
No shit.
Right where he parted the trees the first time. There was no looking for it.
Really?
How he did that, I have no freaking idea.
You're like, okay, I trust you.
After that, I'm like, who is this guy?
He's Mennonite. That's all you need to know.
Crazy. Yeah.
If I ever have kids, I'm going to make them Mennonite.
Yeah. It's crazy, though. He's got 8 other siblings, and they're all fucking good at stuff that,
Anthony,
you or I would not be good at, like, if that makes sense.
Anthony, yeah, no, it makes total sense. Anthony told me about a guy that was from Camas Valley that was really good at tracking too. I wonder if it's the same guy.
I have no idea.
Because he's like, yeah, he looks at everything. He looks at like, how there's like always spider webs out in the woods. He looks at the spider webs. He looks at the grass.
He was doing that too. But I've been with other people that do that. Like, oh, there's a spider web here. He didn't go down this trail.
He didn't go this way. Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah,
it's just.
And I'm starting to pick up stuff from Aaron. As I spend more time around the guy, I pick up a lot of stuff.
Did you pick up anything about his reaction to certain colors of blood or certain blood or anything? Was there anything that he said about your bull's blood?
He does say stuff like he was telling me the color of the blood, but that shit was like over my head. I was so worried about my elk. I'm like, man, this sucks.
One thing I would like to get better at is, I'm decent at it. I'm probably average, maybe better than average, but not much if I am. You and I are probably on the same page, Well,
you got to track every time you shoot a bull. So, I mean, we have that, I've tracked several bulls.
Yeah.
But when they lose blood,
that's where
he comes in, and it's like, dude.
That's where I need to get better at.
Yes, same here. The dude's fucking incredible.
Yeah, I need to meet this guy.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, because I know it sounds bad, but a lot of my bulls, like we've tracked, you and I tracked that one where the cougar. That was a pretty long track job on that one.
Yeah, that was.
But it was like, man, we're trying, like, I don't know, it seems like a lot of the stuff that we've shot, like, they're dead.
Yeah.
And so you kind of I'll track the blood just for fun, even though I know it crashed over here.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I retain what I learned very good on those. It's like when you fuck something up and you're having to track an animal, or like in your situation, like this is the biggest bull in my life. We're 18 hours in. You're retaining all that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If it just crashed 70 yards away, you're probably not going to retain that blood trail very well.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Like my bull, I don't think I found a drop of blood.
Like I did a death run.
I just just did a death run. But so you got your bull on the ground, and when you finally put your hands on him, what was going through your head?
Well, Aaron, the whole time,
You're like, is he like, this is him?
Well, Aaron's like, that's the bull I saw. He's 340, and looking at my bull, he has a 330 to 340 back end.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
But his first 3/3 aren't there.
When you shot him, I was like 330, 340.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'm like 335.
The back end's there. It's front.
Huge.
It's front end.
It's solid, but it's not.
Solid, but it's not a 330.
You got to have it all.
Yeah, you have to have it all.
350. Your bull has it all, but it just a little bit less on the front.
Yep.
Which is wild.
First through thirds are average. Huge back end.
Your thirds are pretty good too, though.
They're decent.
They're better than average. Your fronts
for Oregon,
yeah, I'd say your fronts are better than average. But you think about
the mass too. You got to
everything in your bull is better than average because a 320. What did your bull score? 322.
Not counting his little extras, 322. Gross.
So let's just say 325.
Yeah.
Realistically, how much in extras does it have? 5 inches, 6 inches?
Not even.
So let's just 325
just
with the trash.
Yeah.
Everything about that bull has to be bigger than average.
Well, think about this: 15 inches to get to 340.
Mm-hmm.
If it had more mass,
my bull's mass, you would have got.
Just say 2 inches in mass, which is a lot, but just say 2 inches in mass is 16 more inches.
Right.
So there's right there 341, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because how big were your bases on your bull?
Well, the bases are fucking gigantic,
Yeah,
dude.
they're
They're
huge.
like, they're bigger than,
Bigger than this.
yeah, they're bigger than that candle right there.
Yeah. My bull.
But his first measurement, I want to say, is only 9 inches.
Okay.
The bases, man, have to be like
10.
10, 11,
Yeah.
12. I don't know. They're huge. Pop cans.
I thought my
times
bases
2.
would be bigger, but mine were almost 10. They were over 9. They were like 9 3/4 or something like that. But that's a giant base.
Yeah.
So, but your frame, how long was your frames?
Oh, the Maybeams?
Yeah.
I think one's 47. So pretty long.
Your bull looks like it crossed the I-5 over from Eastern Oregon. It just landed in Powers.
He's got 18-inch swords, and then that 1/5 point's like 12
Yeah.
inches.
I think you shot your first Rocky Mountain.
He's got a strong side though. It's crazy. His strong side is he's gonna have 10 inches in deductions.
Is it really?
Yeah, so he would have been a freaking 330 bull if that other side matched.
Right.
So
Right. God, that's crazy.
or if that weaker side was matched, if he had the same, if his strong side was like his weak side, then he would have been a fucking 310 bull.
I have a theory about who came up with scoring. You had 2 buddies who shot big bulls like you and I did the same year. Okay.
Yeah.
And these assholes are probably like, yeah, my bull's bigger than yours. And then you have this like little petty guy where my bull's a little smaller than yours, but he's gonna be like, yeah, but mine's more symmetrical, and we should minus any irregularities, and then also do this and that. So I just feel like somebody who made B and C was super fucking petty because they had a buddy who killed a bigger bull than them.
Should be like a volume.
It should be a volume thing.
That would make sense.
Like we
right?
have the technology. We
inches
should
of
just fucking scan it. Just scan it.
3D scan.
Yeah, I feel like there was somebody that was a poor loser back in the early 1900s, and I'm like, no, my bull's score is better than yours. I'm like, how the fuck did you run that math? Well, here's how.
Right.
Yeah, because who gives a fuck if it's symmetrical? I don't.
Yeah. The whole net thing's stupid.
How do you count the inside spread? That's a bullshit measurement. I mean, why is that even a measurement considered? Because what if your bull has a really narrow, and he has everything, but he's narrow. Mm-hmm. But this other guy, because there's a bull that scored 330. My buddy Willie showed me a picture of it. I would rather have mine and your bull over his bull, and his is a 330 Rosie. And it's not a pretty 330. It's just super fucking long and super wide. But every point is short.
Right.
It just has beams and width.
Yep.
But if you looked at all 3 of our bulls, you'd be like, yeah, I'll take these other 2. It's just weird.
It is.
Scoring system's retarded. Somebody messaged me the other day. I'm like, are you guys going to enter your bulls? I'm like, I don't know what Brad's going to do about it. I've never entered anything.
I don't take it there to enter it. Like, obviously,
you just want to get it officially
scored.
Yeah.
If they want to enter it, then whatever.
Yeah. Well, they charge you like $20, I think, or $40.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know. But I'm not sure if the guy was a part of the.
And I really don't give a shit to enter stuff.
Shit, no. A lot of those bulls are poached. I'm going to put that on the record. I think a lot of those bulls are fucking bullshit.
On what? On
the record books. I think there's a lot of poaching going on.
I don't know about the whole poaching thing, but definitely a lot. People are going to get pissed at me when I say this. A lot, I think, are private ranches.
Tons of them are private.
Which, in my opinion, is fucking stupid.
SEI. I mean, there's a difference between a public land giant like what you killed. Yours was legit public land. Anybody on the weekend could have went dirt biking up there, whatever.
Right.
Anybody could have been up there.
Yeah.
And you ran into people dirt biking.
Can-Am side by side.
Can-Am side by sides. Same thing. So you're competing with all this other bullshit. Somebody going up there and sighting in their gun before deer season.
Right.
You know, like I had that happen 3 times this year. Like talking to elk, boom, boom, and then not talking to elk. It was like, God damn it. You know, like there's a difference between that and then hunting animals that act like they aren't pressured.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
I saw it firsthand in Sled Springs.
I'm not trying to like talk shit about people.
It's not talking shit. It's just the truth. Like if I had private property, you wouldn't catch me out public.
Right, right. But I'm also not going to like brag about my shit. A lot of those
puff
guys
my chest or something.
Like, oh, I killed a giant.
I mean,
fucking private property. No one cares.
It does. You know, for better or for worse, it does take the shine away.
For sure.
Because I'm like, oh, like when Cam Hanes kills a big bull, I'm like, yeah. I mean, that one he killed last year was like, holy fucking shit, that's a giant bull. Like, where'd that thing come from?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like,
It's on a ranch.
it's on a ranch. It's it's a $10,000 bull or it's a
Exactly.
$30,000 bull. And even though I'm sure the guy, he used to be a public land killer, but it just takes the shine off of it for
It
me.
does. It does.
And granted, if I had that money, fuck yeah, I wouldn't be screwing around on public land. You wouldn't catch me. There's no way.
I might still. I take a lot of pride in doing what we do, honestly.
I do as well, but I am also tired of hunting around a bunch of fucking assholes. A bunch of guys who are just dicks. I found another one this year. Found him. I always find them.
I haven't really had bad luck, man.
Dude.
I mean, I've ran in. The only time I've really had any interaction with other hunters is when I was with you, when you killed that bull a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, that's a normal year for me
And
apparently.
then I was just down there throwing middle fingers at him. So,
Right. Yeah. That's just my luck. I don't know what it is, man. I don't get it. I mean, me, Scott,
I'm surprised you never said anything to him.
I found out more information about the guy,
Oh, you did?
and I'm barking up the wrong tree. I can tell you that. I'll tell you off air.
Like, is he a badass?
Law enforcement.
Oh,
So, yeah. I mean, I'm barking up the wrong tree there, but
copy.
I'm gonna have a conversation with him because Caleb had a good interaction with him.
Right.
It was the absolute opposite of our interactions with him. So I'm just thinking the guy's oblivious and
Had
doesn't
no idea.
had no idea
Oh, I got you.
he was being an asshole.
Copy.
I mean, if you can't fault a guy if he's that fucking retarded where he doesn't know he's fucking every hunter in that drainage. On like it looks like it's on purpose.
My wife makes fun of us. She's like, "You guys are so fucking full of drama." Blah, blah, blah.
Dude, you have somebody
In the-
drop in on you 3 times
No,
in 1 year.
in the hunting world, like just in general.
Oh, really?
It's like, dude, this shit will end in a fist fight if it has to. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
And I'm a nice guy. Like,
Yeah.
but I won't put up with bullshit
I
like
don't-
that.
I mean-
I'll fucking.
If I ran, I rehearsed it mentally in my head when I ran into the guy. I'm like, okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Tell me what happened from your perspective, because I really want to understand where you're coming from here before I fucking tear you, new asshole.
Right.
And I never had that conversation with him, and I know exactly who it is. I have his picture. I know.
Do I know who he is?
No.
No?
I mean, unless you just happen to know him.
Right.
But yeah, it turns out he was actually a super nice guy to Caleb, and yeah. So I'm like, well, maybe he's just absolutely oblivious, doesn't have any hunting etiquette because he's an idiot or something. I don't know, but I'll get into that, I guess, later in the podcast about what we had to deal with this year. But I mean, yeah, it's public land. We are out there struggling with the best of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. It's a grind. I know that.
Did you have I had a really off year for bugling and getting bulls to commit and getting bulls to come in. It was a really off year for me.
So I honestly think I had one of my best years.
Brady said the same thing.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I would say it has been the best calling year for me.
What?
Yeah.
So a
But
lot of the people.
I'm also in a different unit.
You're in a different unit. Brady's hunting the same freaking area I am, and he's like, "It was one of the best years I ever had." I'm like, "What the hell?"
It's weird how that works.
Like we struggled this year. Like
what
if it
I
wasn't-
find, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's
what
fine.
I find super weird though, where we started hunting this year,
yeah,
there was no rut activity at all. But 10 miles, 15 miles inland, dude, it was freaking insane.
really.
Just full on rut action. Dude, Penny and I went back out last night, last day of season, to check it out where we started. Still no bulls with the cows that we were seeing. We saw 2 herds, no bulls.
What's the deal?
I have no idea. And I've heard that from a lot of people. I don't know why.
Well, we were farther inland than you were.
Yeah.
But again, Brady was having like when he's told me that, I was like, "What the freaking hell is going on here?" Because I struggled. If it wasn't for spot and stock, I struggled all year.
Right.
Like, I had one evening where I had 4 bulls going. I couldn't go after any of them because they were all out of bounds for me. But it was like that was the only really like we had a 5-point that Brady ended up killing. We should have killed him, but he wasn't super fired up either. He was bugling, but didn't want to commit. Didn't want to leave his cows. Super pressured elk. Like he didn't. When Brady shot him, he was completely retarded apparently. But because Brady's like,
Yeah. Have you talked?
yeah, I talked to Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, he just stood there. I was like, you serious?
It's awesome.
But for us, he was like the world's most pressured elk. But
That 7x6 that I was chasing, though, when I killed mine, we got on that thing, I think 5 or 6 different times after that for the wife.
yeah,
So close, so many times.
just a smart bull or lucky bull.
No, I found out my buddy Aaron's sister, she had the tag. She missed him twice opening weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's not like
So I think he was a little bit educated. And that's why he didn't want to like fully commit. Because,
interesting.
dude, when I called him in,
How far did she miss him at? Do you know?
Lydia shot, I want to say like one was 50 and one was like 20.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Did she end up killing anything?
No, she did not.
That sucks. It was weird not hunting with you this year. It was really weird.
Yeah, it was for sure.
Yeah.
I'll be back next year unless I draw like a premium tag or something. But
You kind of make me want to get a premium tag for the unit you got.
oh, well, premium, yeah, hell yeah. I'll put
because
it in
a
that
premium
until-
tag for the unit we hunt general season, I mean, I could take it or leave it. I mean, I don't. The biggest bull I've ever seen up there, I shot. It's like I feel
Right.
like you could see multiple of my bulls in your unit.
I think so. It's good. I mean, the quality's there for sure.
Yeah, like I wouldn't shoot it
don't
unless
think
it was
there's-
over 300 in your
I don't
unit.
think it's just like, a ton of bulls like that in
No,
there.
but there's more.
There's more.
Yeah, just because they're not as pressured.
Right.
So yeah, on our end we had 2 bulls down opening day. Should have had 3 on the group where we were at.
Oh, yeah. Bubba and then Mitch. Right?
Yep. Yeah, and then there was somebody else missed one too, or missed or lost one or something.
damn.
Yeah. It was like Jesus. It was a great, like I said, it was a great year for killing elk. Like there's like
so
a
many
lot of
people
bulls hit the
killed-
ground.
So many people killed elk
Yeah,
this year.
yeah.
for sure.
I didn't. That's 2 years in a row where I didn't get the bugling action that I wait all year for.
Right.
Because let's see, last year, I mean, my bull kind of, yeah, a little bit, I guess. It wasn't like up in your face. I shot him at like, what, 60, 70 yards, something like that.
Oh, that bull, yeah.
The one we
Yep.
honked at.
Yeah, but he was bugling. I mean,
He was bugling, but it wasn't like a scream fest, you know? It
well,
wasn't
it could
like,
have been. It honestly probably would have been.
it
but
would have been if we would have
We
snuck in there.
drove up on him. That's why.
Right.
That's why.
But, I mean, and then Shelby's, the big 5-point that
Mm-hmm.
Shelby should have shot.
That bull didn't get hot till like the last week.
No, but he was hot. And that was like, I waited all season for that one day of like that intense action.
Right.
I didn't get that this year. Sucks.
You tagged out pretty early though. I think you
The
tagged
15th?
out. That's like right when stuff for me is getting good.
Right.
So.
I just get so anxious I'm not going to fill my tag every year.
Right.
So,
I honestly now I don't even care. Like, I'll probably hold out for a good bull
every year now?
every year now. I mean, obviously not that big, but
The first 240 bull I see is probably.
I'm not killing a dink. unless
I'm
it's-
over killing dinks.
Yeah, unless it's the last week maybe.
That's exactly what I told Sheldon. I'm like, first dink that walks out in the last week of season is getting an arrow, but I'm holding out until then.
Yeah.
But what sucks is that if you wait till that last week, kind of like this year, if you get some weather, you're fucked. Like those elk keg up. Yeah, you can get lucky. Yes, obviously elk are still going to do some elk things, but by and large, you are hunting elk that are kegged up.
I've never done worth a shit in the
Yeah.
rain.
Neither have I. And we got a lot of rain this last week.
I've killed one bull in the rain, but it wasn't like a rainstorm. It's just kind of
Sprinkling on and
Yeah.
off. Yeah. I know Scott shot at a really good bull the morning after it poured, which is still, usually it takes a day or two for me to start getting back into elk. It's not like
Right.
rain, boom, sun. It was just, I don't know, man. It's just a weird year. And I talked to a lot of people that were getting that too. A lot. But then you talk to guys
It's
like
kind of across
you.
the board though, or it's spread out. Like, I talked to a couple guys up north, like Thomas and those guys. It didn't sound like they were having too great of action.
But Corey killed one.
Corey killed one.
It sounded like it was like a typical bugling fest.
Yeah, and that was not too long after we killed ours.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what, the 22nd, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
because we both killed ours the 15th, which was funny because our favorite day, you actually pointed this out to me, is the 16th, because that's when we both killed our best bulls.
I have hung a tag. Well, I shot my biggest bull this year. It was the 15th.
Right.
But I never hung my tag on him
Until the 16th.
until the 16th.
So the 16th is still the
So
best
that
day.
is the third bull I've put a tag on.
Right,
on
because
the
he didn't
16th,
die until the 16th.
technically.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
You kept your streak alive.
16th, I've killed. There was a 3-year stretch. It was 16th, 17th, 16th.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
And I told you that. I'm like,
yes,
16th.
the
And then
16th.
you killed the bull on the 16th.
yeah,
that
my
year.
best bull at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I can put him downstairs above the couch, and I can't. I'm going to have to have Javi help me move him. But
If not, I got ran.
I put him, I put him in my this year's bowl to get together, and it looks like a rag versus a mature bowl. Like, it's like, holy crap. But so anything you want to cover about your bowl before we move on to mine?
No, let's go after
Yeah.
yours now.
Do you know the whole story behind it and everything?
No, I just know that I've had experience with your bull for
really?
years.
Oh, shit. So
Well, I'll send you trail cam pictures of that thing.
I had 3 different people send me pictures of my bull
Well,
after I killed it.
your bull, dude, was the bull I was trying to figure out. We've talked about him on
Oh,
your
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
He was the bull that 3 or 4 years that I have trail cam pics of.
Right.
And then once September rolls around, we had no idea where he went.
How big was his 7th last year?
Oh, I'll have to find the picture.
About
It
like
wasn't
your
like
bull?
super. No, it's probably.
Three
Yeah,
or-
maybe. Yeah, about that.
3 inches, 4 inches? Or
3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, God, that would have been cool if he had
Yeah.
that. I wonder if he's got more mass this year or if he's bigger this year than he was last year.
I think he is massier this
Really?
year. Yeah.
I want to know how old he is, too.
I bet he's at least 9.5.
I'm hoping he's double digits. That's my goal.
Well, so James and I know he's at least 9.5 from just from shed antlers we have to
Right.
trail cam pigs.
Yeah. Gregory has shed a big shed of his.
Really?
Yep.
Copy.
Came right out of where James was looking for him.
Really?
Yep.
Dang.
I think Gregory beat him to it is what happened.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But Gregory has 2 different sheds from different years. And I'm like, no one wants. I mean, I'd want to shed them from last year if I was gonna buy a shed from somebody. But, so yeah, we have history with this bull. I think you guys told me about it. I'm not sure if I saw photos until last year. Did you show me photos of that
I
bull?
think so, yeah.
I think it was actually 2 years ago when he showed me photos of him because it was after season. I'm like,
Right.
now the season's over. I'll show you this bull I've been on. I was like, gee, thanks.
Hadn't been on looking for.
Yeah, looking for.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, you holding out on me, bro?
Bulls only
Oh, shit.
that only come by every now and then. So
Copy.
I was trying to keep it on the DL.
It's all good.
Even with my hunting friends.
Yeah.
You got to have some secrets.
I was only slightly butthurt. But no, so we knew about this bull. We figured we knew where he went. Or you knew where he went.
I knew where he wintered and where he summered and
where was he during
cruised.
season?
Exactly.
Yeah,
everything
we had
except
everything
for
the most
September.
important piece of the puzzle. Where was he when you could kill him?
I'm not convinced that bull rutted every year where you killed him.
I don't think he did either.
No,
there's
'cause
no way.
I've never seen him
There's no way.
ever, and we hunt that area all the time.
I think that he just was there for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And people had seen him about 2 miles a different direction
Yeah.
from where I shot him right before season 2.
Yeah.
Like you had a buddy say where he was, and,
Yeah.
and you're like, I don't know. I'm like, I had other people send me pictures of him.
Yeah. So he was down there.
Yeah, he was. But
Yeah.
when he was in velvet,
Yeah. So once he rutted up, though, he just came
he
over.
just way over.
Yeah.
So I guess where do I start? So I had this glassing spot that I was excited about because I could glass a lot. I get a lot of bang for my buck. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Me and James were talking, and early on I saw this really good bull with 4 or 5 cows. I kept calling him the 265 bull because that's what I figured he went. And so I made a play on him, and they just kept going in the timber within like the first 15, 20 minutes of daylight. I was like, these elk haven't been pressured, haven't been screwed with at this point.
Right.
And I'm like, how are they so like crackheads right now? And so finally, I spotted him again, and he's deep in the unit this time. I'm like, oh shit, right next to the road. I was like, I'm gonna fucking Dale Earnhardt. I'm getting down there.
Yeah.
So you know how fast we drive.
Yeah.
I did about twice that. And I went down, hit the road, hit a timber patch, parked my truck. I ran about a third of a mile, and I'm like, I am going for broke on this guy. And I come around the corner, and I'm looking at a bull. I'm like, fuck. And it's a rag. I'm like, okay, it's not him. He's about 80 yards, and I follow this bull up the road for 200 yards. And then finally we get up towards the top, and then I can see a cow coming out of the road. I'm like, the hell's the big bull, you know? So he slinkers off and goes up to the cow, and the cow's like, you know, just feeding. She's actually in the middle of the road now, and the rag goes up and is like trying to mess with her a little bit. And then all of a sudden he dashes and bolts back towards me. I'm like, what? I'm like, that big bull's right there.
Right.
So I start ranging the cows, and I'm 70.5 yards or something, or 79.5 yards. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in range. I can kill this fucker.
Right.
So I dial to 80, and right after I dial, I see some more cows come out. I range them again, 80. I was like, okay, perfect. The bull, like, and then I see tops of antlers, so I draw back. Didn't have time to range the bull. Probably did, but I didn't. I was so excited. I was like, he's got to be right there with his cows. And then he stops broadside in the middle of the road. I'm like, okay, you are dead. And then as I'm aiming on him, I'm not, you know, usually I have like self-talk. Like, I've said this a million times on the podcast, but when I'm like drawn on an animal, I'm thinking, you are fucked. I'm going to kill you.
Right.
You are dead. This time I'm like, you got to aim higher. You got to aim higher. He's farther than he looks. And I held for 80 because I'm like, I ranged right there. And that arrow went right under his armpit. I'm like, great. I'm an idiot. You know, shouldn't have shot at him because 80 is my cutoff point.
Right.
But the whole time I'm like, that was really stupid. I should have just ranged him, and if I didn't get a shot, I didn't get a shot. You know, cow call at him right after I missed him, and that that four or 5 point rag comes up to me, and he's like 39 yards, and I'm like, I know I missed that bull, and I'm really pissed off right now. And then I'm like, no, just you have to check to make sure you didn't hit him. So I let him walk off. Obviously, I had to because sometimes these broadheads, they're so sharp that you don't hear him hit half the time.
Yeah.
So maybe I did hit him, but I'm pretty sure as soon as that, kind of like what you said, as soon as that arrow left my bow, I knew I was fucked.
Yeah.
That's exactly the feeling I had on that bull. I was like, you idiot. So I go up immediately. I find my arrow in the bank, and and he's barking at me. He's pissed off. The cows are all mewing. They're all pissed off. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, well, that's awesome. And like that was my biggest bull. Like that would have been by far my biggest bull. And fast forward a week, and I'm skipping over a lot of shit here. So fast forward, that morning that I saw that bull, I had seen a couple others, I think, and just was passing on opportunities on rags. Like I had maybe 1 or 2 rags in range, so truly passed up. But I passed up probably 5 or 6 stalks on bulls I probably could have killed. All dinks, nothing that you or I set out to kill this year. Finally, I keep hitting that unit again. I'm like, eventually he's probably going to come back. Eventually. Glassing on that point, first thing in the morning, I'm like, holy shit, there he is. He's back. This time he has 12 or 15 cows with him. I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, well, I'm going to do the same thing, except he was farther out the same road, same unit. I had to run probably half a mile. And the whole time, it's still pretty dark out. It's not even, it's shooting light, but it's not very shooting light.
Right.
Because as soon as I saw that it was him, I didn't waste any time looking at him in the scope. I drove down there, and then I ran, and then finally I had to like sneak probably 400 yards because they're feeding up top where they can see everything down below, and that road is completely in, like they can see me the whole time. And so as soon as they went behind this big slash pile, I gave a whole thing of glass. I glassed around the slash pile left and right, didn't see an elk head, nothing. I'm like, okay. So I sprinted probably 200 or 300 yards. I ran as fast as I could up to the hill, and then finally when I'm like, okay, if they're here, they're probably in the timber, but if they're here, this is an hour after daylight. They're feeding way later than normal today. Anyways, I'm towards the top of the hill. I'm on the road, same road I'd missed the 265 bull on, and I see a cow. I'm like, oh fuck, they're not in the timber. They're still on the road. And then right about that time, I see tops of antlers coming over the horizon. I'm like, oh shit, like okay. this is a good bull. This is him. And then
So you're thinking
I'm thinking it's the 265 bull, but his sixth, looking through the binos, I'm like, hey, man, I don't remember his sixth being that big.
Yeah.
But I'm like, probably him. So then finally, like I'm like, I need like 5 more steps. So I'm trying to range him. Can't really range him because I'm trying to hit his antlers and his head. Can't range him. So I walk forward 5 more steps, and at this point he's broadside and he's looking away from me. And so I just walk up, range him right at 79 yards. I'm like, again, 79 yards. I'm like, don't fuck this up this time. I'm like, range the bull, not the cow. So I ranged the bull. And, it was like right at 79 and a half, 79. And I was like, hell yeah. Pull. And then this time, like, it's my shot thoughts are there. Like, you are so dead. And I tried to steady the pin, and immediately it just rock steady. I was like, oh, yeah. Punk. Perfect. Everything felt perfect. The bull doesn't react. He runs off like maybe 5 yards, maybe 10 yards away from me, and then turns quartered away. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss? Like, everything was there. I ranged him, and so I'm immediately thinking, if you shot and you missed, and you maybe you misranged or something, or you misread your rangefinder, because I was so confident that pin was where it needed to be. I'm like, the range has to be good. Just aim for where you think you need to aim. So I put it on his back.
Right.
And that second shot, I heard it hit. I was like, and I saw him kind of like hunch up a little bit, like the oh shit they do.
Yep.
And then him and all of his cows ran into the timber. And that whole time, so maybe 20 or 30 seconds passed, maybe 30, between the first and second shot, and I didn't see blood dripping down the side or nothing. So I'm like, you airballed the first one somehow. And then on that second one, I'm like, I know I smoked him on that second shot. Because he was quartered away, and I hugged the shoulder. Or he's slightly quartered away, and I put it right behind the shoulder, I should say. I was so unconfident after that first shot, I waited 2.5 hours to go look for him, and I called Willie. Did I call you?
You texted me.
I texted you. Yep. And what did I text you?
Well, I don't know if it was before or after you knew you killed it, but you said I shot the big bull, is what you said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember if that was before or after, but I shot the big bull right at 7:30.
I don't even remember when I got the text. I just got that and I started trying to call you. Like,
oh, really?
What big bull are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
and I did I tell you what big bull it was? Oh,
no, I had to wait.
Because I didn't realize I'd shot the big bull.
Right.
Still, I still thought it was like maybe the 265 bull, and he's bigger than I thought he was.
Right.
And so I shot this bull thinking 280, 290. And so I call Willie. I'm like, dude, I got a lot of hair on one. So I walked up to where the bull was, and I immediately about 5 yards behind where the first shot, I found my arrow. And I'm like, okay, is that my first arrow or my second arrow? Because I was so excited. I'm not sure. I had this one arrow that spun really good. It tuned really perfect. I'm like, this is like the best arrow I've ever made. And I'm like, this is going to be the arrow I launch at elk. And so I marked a number 1 on it.
Yeah.
All my arrows were flying dead on, but that one was like, I just love that arrow. And so I grabbed that arrow when I shot him. So I knew that my first shot had smoked him. And then I'm like, okay, why didn't I see any blood? Why this, that? So I'm like calling Willie. I'm like, I got blood on my arrow. There's a lot of hair on it. There's some chunks of meat. I'm like, I'm doubting everything, dude. He's like, you always do this, like when you shoot an animal and it runs off and you don't find it, you don't hear it crash, you just negative immediately enters your head. You probably had the same thing.
Every time I shoot something,
right.
It's like, you ever watch Old School?
Yeah.
Like, is it Old School when Will Ferrell like does that fucking shit for the like competition they have at
Frank
the
the
end?
Tank?
Oh, and he like goes off like on this big old like spill, and then he's like, I blacked out.
Oh,
That's me. I fucking black out every time I shoot.
I just get I get confident of where my shots go, but then I start second guessing myself. It's just second guessing with me.
Same here. I mean, I know I'm usually right about where I hit.
Me
but
too.
You always freaking, you're always second guessing.
Well, what causes me to second guess myself is like I've talked to a lot of people and where they think they hit it, they didn't. Like a lot of times, like the shooter's completely wrong with where they shot.
Oh, yeah.
And so like I'm like, am I that guy this time? Like, is that me? Like
I'm usually right.
Me too.
I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, I'm usually right where I hit, but yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think it's the person. I think knows where they hit, but they
don't want to say.
Don't want to say. That's what I
maybe,
think that is.
maybe because I'm like, dude, the worst person you can ask is who the shooter, because half the time they're wrong or they're full of shit or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, it's just like, man, I'm immediately going like, did I really think I hit with that where I hit that? Like, and then why is there so much meat on my hair? Like, why is there like this? What, like, this hair looks way too long. I wonder if I hit it in the straps. Like, just all sorts of things. Crawling through my head, and then what settled me down was I called Mitch, and I'm like, brother, I killed the best bull of my life, I think. I'm not sure how the shot was. He's like, whoa. Did you range the bull this time? I'm like, yeah. He's like, then it's fucking dead.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And he's like, you don't miss if you know the range. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't usually miss if I know the range. He's like, no. You don't miss if you know the range.
Right.
I was like, I needed to hear that, dude. He's like, you fucking smoked him, and I'm on my way up right now. And I'm like, you're in town.
Did Mitch come up?
Yeah, I thought I was calling him at work. I'm like,
nice.
It was Friday, I think, or something like that.
Nice.
And he's like, I'm on my way. I was like, and as soon as he like said like he's like you would have bet the lottery, like he would have bet at his house, like you killed that bull if you shot at him, you knew the range. And so he's like, I'm on my way up. I'm like, I did kill this bull. I'm like, I'm trying to like psych myself up.
Well,
so
dude, if you got 2 arrows in that,
in him, I'm like, and I know the second one hit. That's just why I kept like, I know the second one hit. And then I got a little ahead of myself. I didn't know I shot the number 1 arrow yet. I hadn't thought that far through.
Oh, copy.
Yeah. And so when James comes up and Caleb comes up, we're talking through it. And I left my arrow there at the crime scene. And so I'm like, I told him, I'm like, now that I'm thinking about it, if it's the number 1 arrow, I know I got him on the first shot. And so we get there, and James is like, there's number 1 on it. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. So after that, I'm like, okay, you guys hang back. It's 2.5 hours. He should be dead. But I'm going to go up and just see if I'm not going to look for blood. I'm just going to sneak into the timber and see if I can't glass him up. And then you guys, once I give you guys the okay, come in and start following the blood trail. Just try and pick up the blood on the road because there should be blood somewhere because he stood around for a while.
Yeah.
And I get down there about 60 yards, and then I'm like creeping like he's still alive. I have an arrow knocked, and I see like hide. I'm like, oh shit! And I start to like draw, and then I'm like, I let down and look at it through the rangefinder. I'm like, oh shit, that's him.
Yeah.
And there's antlers sticking up out of the ground. Yeah. I was like, oh fucking no way! And I start screaming and yelling. I'm like, fuck yeah, yeah. And I said something stupid fucking corny. I'm like, that's why we shoot. That's why we train. I'm like, something so stupid, I was like, that's why we do this. And like that, you fucking retard. But I was saying all sorts of weird shit. And so Caleb comes down, and then I'm like, it starts to hit me. And I'm like, I started tearing up. I'm like, since I was like a kid, I've wanted a bull like this my whole life. Yeah. I never thought I'd kill one like that. And so they've got like, I told Caleb, I'm like, please don't share that. But I started getting teary-eyed. I'm like, and I watched the video last night for the first time, and I'm like, in the video, I'm like, I'm being such a bitch right now. Like, I'm crying over a fucking elk. But I'm like, I don't think, maybe they do. Maybe they do know how bad I wanted this.
Right.
Like, I'm sure they do.
I didn't cry on mine, but it was weird. I was like the exact opposite. Like, all my buddies that were down there, so I had a freaking pack team from hell, dude.
Yeah.
I had Dad, his buddy Rob, Zach, Nick, Aaron, both my brothers. And everyone the whole time, they're like, are you happy? I'm like, yeah, I'm stoked, They're like, you don't look like you're happy. I'm like, dude, I just been through a fucking bunch.
Right.
Tracking
an
this
emotional
thing,
roller coaster.
trying to find this thing. And I'm like, I'm stoked. I just might not show it, but I'm still jacked.
Yeah.
I was just like, like the whole like roller coaster that elk took me on, I was just already over it,
Yeah. Well, you don't show a lot of emotion anyways.
I mean, not a lot really. I think I've cried a couple times in my life as an adult.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't cry, but I definitely teared up a little bit, and I was like, I definitely got emotional. And then I don't remember the last time I got emotional. The last time I got emotional is when I shot a giant in Eastern Oregon.
Yeah.
And my uncle called it in for me.
Yeah.
That's when I got emotional.
Okay. Embarrassing. I'll share because I do remember crying one time.
Okay.
When I killed my second biggest bull now.
Uh-huh.
My dad came over and I don't even know why, dude. My dad and I are out in the driveway looking at my bull. My biggest bull at the time, and we both just started fucking bawling our eyes out.
Really?
Why? I have no fucking idea. Felt really kind of like a bitch, but and my wife's like, like, what the fuck's going on?
You guys in your drama. Sorry, Penny. That's not my imitation of you.
No, that's not her voice at all. She doesn't talk that way.
No.
That she does not talk that way at all.
Not at all. No.
She's hardcore.
I don't know where that came from. don't not like.
She's
me,
gonna
Penny.
come over here and beat you.
I know.
Up
She's
now.
like, dude, you ever intimidate me again? I'll fucking kill you.
But I don't know. I think sometimes we just get overwhelmed. That's why we cry.
It is so hard to kill a bull of that caliber.
Fuck yeah, it is.
And you've been through so much.
Dude, I've been bow hunting for 11 years.
Yeah.
It took me 11 years to kill the Break 300.
Right. Took me 15.
Yeah, it's no joke. I mean,
yeah.
If it was easy, we'd all do it.
We would all do it, and especially to do it on the coast, on a Rosie.
That's not even talking smack. Like I feel like anyone's capable of being an elk hunter. We're people, dude. Like we're human beings.
What do you? So I was thinking about this earlier today. What does somebody have to do to be considered an elk hunter in your head?
I don't know.
Is it just pursue?
I just obsess over it. That's all I think about.
Right.
I don't know. Honestly, I mean, my whole life, you can ask anyone that knows me, revolves around elk hunting.
Me too.
That's all I think about.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all I talk about. People probably get annoyed. I mean, I just obsess over it so much, and everything within me, like, I don't know. It's what I live for, dude. Like,
right.
And you just got to, I don't know, you got to fucking put in the time. You got to put in the effort. I don't think a lot of people put in the time and effort.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they go out, they probably don't do any scouting.
And they expect to find success.
They expect to kill an elk. But we're out there, I want to say 365 days a year. But
you and James are out there.
I used to be out there a lot. I kind of cut back this year.
A little bit.
Got kids.
Right.
We got sports now. And honestly, sports, watching my kids do sports comes number one now. I mean, just part of growing up.
It's priorities, right? I mean,
I still love. I freaking love bow hunting. I will never give up bow hunting. But yeah, Axel, he's 9 years old now, and I got to start, working with him. Like, kid's gonna be a football player for sure,
dude.
Like,
right?
He's a fucking.
How much does he weigh now?
Like 150.
Oh my god! And he's how old?
9. He's a beast.
He is 25 pounds bigger than I was when I graduated high school.
He's a tank.
That's ridiculous, dude.
He's strong.
Could you imagine being a 9-year-old and you have to go out and face him? And you're like, "Fuck this! I quit."
Dude, he just walks up to he walks up to Penny now and just picks her up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he can carry her around. I'm just like,
Jesus,
dude, he's a stout kid.
I feel like, is he playing with other kids his age?
Yeah.
That's not
it's
even
not fair. It isn't.
No.
But we're still in flag football. Wait till next year.
Oh God,
Once
dude.
we start hitting people,
I'm gonna go watch one of those games because that's gonna be funny to watch.
It is. He's the center this year.
Is he?
Like,
he is the O-line.
It's freaking funny watching him because the first game he had this year, the kid's like, I don't even like maybe 50 pounds. I'm guessing, but he's so small. I feel like Axel's like 3 times the size.
Right. Probably
and he just
is.
Freaking demolishes that kid. I'm just like, that's not even fair, dude.
It's not fair. Oh my gosh. I wonder if he's got if he's one of those guys that grows a lot and then tapers out, or if he's going to keep growing.
Dude, look at my dad.
He's going to be bigger than Big Brad.
He's got that pal blood in him. I take after my mom. That's why I'm so small. But you look at the guys in my family,
right.
I'm a runt.
Really?
I mean, height-wise,
your dad's big.
We're all over 6 foot, 6'4".
Yeah.
But I think your average guy in my family is 280 pounds, 300 pounds.
Like Viking blood or something.
I'm 205, so I'm the runt. But
that's crazy. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, after we posted our bulls, there's a fuck ton of comments, and I appreciate everybody's comments. There were a lot of nice words. There was no negativity.
No,
not one. And what really meant a lot to me, a lot of the comments was, you guys deserve that. You guys earned it. And I was like, we fucking did earn that, dude. And we do deserve a good bull. Maybe not this big, but we deserve both. We put the time in. I mean, I know we're maybe saying, I don't know if that's self-pompous or egotistical, but I'm like, dude, we fucking grind. And I felt bad when I shot this. I swear to God, and I still do a little bit. But I felt bad about shooting the bull because I know James wanted that bull more than I did. Like that bull.
Right.
Like I didn't even know I shot it when I shot it.
Right.
James is like, if he's got devils on his right, you shot the big bull, and I'm like, he's got devils on his right, like.
Yeah.
And he was like, and he said he's like, I am so excited for you, but I'm also a little heartbroken at the same time. And I'm like, dude, if I would have shot that 265 bull and you shot this bull, that would have been the perfect year. Still,
it's all right, man. He'll get over it. He'll get a big one.
That guy deserves. I think
He'll
next year
get a big one.
Next year's his year.
There's some big bulls up there, man. There's still some good bulls around too. So,
but
that 260 bull makes it through the season.
He'll be a
270,
280
rifle season. I mean,
yeah. I mean, and I thought this bull was 280, 290 when I shot him.
Mm-hmm.
I measured him with a legit measuring at 313 and then 304 net.
I knew he broke 3 when I came over.
You were like, you're smoking crack. I'm like, why is he not that big? He's like, dude, he's well over 300.
No, I could tell.
I was like, nah. And then
I'm usually pretty damn close.
What's funny is that
when I killed my bull, everyone was saying 340, 350. I'm like, he's 320. And they're like, no fucking way. This thing's 340. I'm like, it's 320.
Right.
They're like,
I was thinking 330, 340.
They're like, you're wrong. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
It's 322. It's just.
That's wild because our bulls are less than 10 inches difference.
They're totally different.
They
like come in all shape and sizes.
When we were in my garage and we were taking pictures of our bulls together, I'm like, how is my bull?
Dude, just look at the pictures. I have the sword through the back end.
Easily. And the beams.
You have mass, and you got, I'd say our fronts are similar. Seconds yours are way bigger.
My thirds are good.
Bigger, and you have more mass. And
right.
I think our widths are actually similar.
Mine's 37.
But they're different. Yours is wider at the thirds, right? Is that his widest point?
I didn't measure his thirds width.
Inside. The greatest inside width.
No, I never measured that.
Really?
I measured off the main beams.
So mine's the widest at the very back, which is weird because
I might need to remeasure my bull.
Typically, the bulls that almost all my bulls, their widest point are at the thirds.
At the thirds?
Mine are usually the thirds because they kick out.
You can count. Isn't it inside the main beam though?
I think there's two. There's tip to tip spread.
Tip to tip doesn't count for score.
And then
inside spread.
I think the thirds is where Penny got her greatest. There's a greatest inside spread. I don't know how the fuck that all works. There's a tip to tip. Then there's like the greatest, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
We might have to remeasure.
So Jason scored mine.
Interesting. What did he do? Did he go off the thirds?
No, he went off the widest point, inside point, which was the back.
I
take my bull. I take my bull after that too, and I got 319.
So you're close.
So yeah, you got 322.
Yeah,
but Jason's pretty spot on.
Well, I measured your big bull a couple years ago, and I was 3 inches low.
Yeah, that 260 bull.
Yeah,
264, and you got 261 or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and you were under.
Yeah. And I was under. It's crazy how I overestimated your bull and I severely underestimated my bull. Like, I thought I was good at judging bulls, and now I'm like, you suck. Because, I mean, it's just it's
hard to go.
It's an illusion.
I think trail cam picks is hard to go off of.
What's insane about that? The trail cam picks that were you and I and James are all looking at.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you guys had judged that bull, and I got a pen and paper. Wait, did I do it with you?
Maybe.
I said 304.
Did you?
And then you're like, I said 305, and so did James. Something like that.
I was thinking right around 300, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. And then mine netted 304, and I was going off of gross. I don't care about net. But we had all thought it was...
That Chris Pasqua guy?
Yeah.
That dude's pretty legit at guessing score, and he was thinking that bull was 280, 290.
Trent came over and was holding it. I'm like, what do you think it scores? He's like, 284. I was like, that's exactly as I said, 280, 290. I'm like, what if I told you 313? He's like, no. I was like, I measured him 3 times.
Yeah.
within a 16th of an inch.
Does he still not believe you? Or?
Probably not. There's other guys that don't believe me too.
I know.
Yeah.
Joe Scolari.
Joe Scolari, yeah. I promise you, this is a legit 313. You can come put hands on him if you want. But I think he told me next time I was in his neck of the woods to bring the bull over and he'd take a look at it. But
Yeah, same here.
I
He
don't-
seems like a good dude.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about him and his broadhead choice though. Does he listen to this?
I have no idea. I hope he does.
I hope he does too.
Annihilated.
Annihilator.
Oh, we're gonna shit on you for about the next minute, Joe. It's coming.
That's all he talks about.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Fucking guy. Here, I gotta read you the comment. He,
Joe, we're making fun of you because we like you.
yeah, I'm not talking shit. I'm
We
just,
won't. We
I'm
wouldn't
giving you a
talk.
hard
We
time.
wouldn't talk shit if we didn't like
He
you.
says, he posts this picture and it's like a case of bullets. He says, "Ready for blacktail rifle season. Thanks for the ammo," or some shit. And
Yeah, I saw that.
I
saw
commented on it. And I said, "Surprised you haven't figured out a way to shoot annihilators out of your gun."
that. What did he say?
He says, "No shit. I would if I could."
You know, I am so happy he found a broadhead that works for him.
They all kill.
They
Don't
all
give a
kill.
fuck
You
what
put
they
him in the
they all
right
kill.
spot. I mean,
Some are better than others for sure.
Oh fuck
but
yeah!
they all
There is a
fucking
difference
kill.
between a 90 set for 3 and a Muzzy 6 for 36.
I just think you can dive way down the rabbit hole when it comes to your setup.
Yeah, you'll never hear me say this is the best though, because I've not shot unless you've shot every broadhead,
You don't know.
and you'll never see me thank a product.
Right.
That fucking drives me insane.
Right.
Like,
I think I've said something like a thank you, but
did they send them to you for free?
no.
Yeah,
They're fucking better now.
they should thank you for using their product.
Exactly.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I'm not changing my setup. I found what I like, and
You like
I'm
the
not,
tooth of the arrow, don't you?
Yeah, and I'm not like promoting anything. Like I don't do any of that shit. I just found the fucking IG world anymore is so corny, dude, and I'm really trying to get away from it.
Me too.
It's
Honestly,
fucking
me
dorky.
too. I just wish there wasn't the algorithm and all the gun. Like, I posted my AR when I got my AR this year,
Yeah,
and they will not promote my shit to new people because I have guns on my.
really.
Yeah, there's like but I haven't grown. I've been going. I was up to like 12,500, and over the last 2 years, I'm down to 11,300.
Huh.
I'm just going backwards. Like, fuck Instagram, dude. I'm not going to play their games.
Right.
I refuse to play their games. They can get annihilated.
No, I'm just
Sorry, what's it?
the whole the hunting world. I mean, in general, and I'm not trying to talk down on anyone. It's just really cheesy anymore.
It's extremely fucking fake,
Yeah.
extremely cheesy, and there's not a lot of legit influencer huntresses out there.
Right.
There's a lot of people that are just absolutely full of shit.
Yeah.
One thing I've heard lately is there's a ton of influencers, rabbit ears influencers, or presences people that are public land hunters that are hunting private ranches.
Right.
Like, they're faking it.
Right.
It's like, really? You will never. I mean, how many people I've ran into in the woods that know I'm struggling right next to them, dude.
Right.
Same thing with you.
Right.
If I had the desire to go hunt private ranches, I would. If my wife starts selling more houses, I will. I'm not against it. I don't have that money to waste right now, and it's not that important to me to kill a giant fucking buck on private. Like, I care
You'll never see me hunt private.
ever.
Probably not.
What if, like, Joe Scolari's like, bro, I have a big bull on our ranch over here.
No,
I would be over there tomorrow.
I wouldn't.
I would.
Honestly, dude, I take so much pride in just grinding public land. I fucking love it, dude. It makes me feel good when you kill a bull.
It does. Although I will say that the filling, the fulfilling
Yeah.
feeling that I get isn't happening with raghorns anymore.
Right. Yeah. You might as well just start holding out.
Yeah. Like, after this year, my favorite thing about this year is that we called our shots. You said, I kind of want to shoot a freak. I think that's what you told me.
Well, here, time out. Here's another thing. we hunt, and when we kill small ones, we're just filling the freezer. Dude, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. You know how much money we spend on shit? If we want,
Right.
I mean, we could go buy a beef for cheaper.
Way cheaper. All the gas and time. It's 5 times more expensive for us.
Exactly. So it's not about the meat.
We're probably $20 a pound.
I mean, I love elk meat. Don't get me wrong, and I love eating elk meat, but it's not about the meat.
It's the pursuit.
It's the pursuit.
Yeah.
100%
And shooting a
the pursuit.
rag who doesn't know anything, who's
Right.
just retarded,
Yeah.
is great for a lot of people. It's like that stunt devil that needs to do crazier and crazier shit
Yeah.
to get that high.
Yeah.
Like, I need a bigger bull to do that for me now. I like blacktails. I have no ego when it comes to blacktails. I've killed a buck every year of my life if I wanted to.
That change for me was last year.
With blacktails?
No.
Or big
with
bulls?
that bull.
Me too.
When
Me
I
too.
killed that bull,
I'm like, I'm
that
happy.
small bull last year, dude. I fucking not good.
Yep. I was in a good place. I'm like, I told you after, I'm like, I think I even said, I'm like, I think I'm done shooting small bulls after that bull.
Yeah.
Like, even or like right after I killed him, like, yeah, like we celebrated. I was super stoked. And then about the next day, I'm like, I think I'm done shooting small bulls.
Yeah.
And then I said I was going to shoot. I'm going to shoot my biggest bull this year.
Right.
And I missed a bull that would have been, and then I shot an even bigger one. So, but I remember you saying like I want to hold out for something special. I remember you saying like 280, 290 would be like where you'd want to shoot.
Yeah.
But I think you said like I want to shoot a freak, and you did.
It's always a goal, though.
Right.
I'm always like Thomas, the Chasing Roosevelt kid, kept on messaging me. He's like, "You set out to kill your biggest bull." I'm like, "Dude, I'm always out there to kill my biggest bull."
Right.
It wasn't just this year; it's
Right.
every year. You know,
That's a change for me. This was my first year setting out to do
yeah,
that.
and
Probably will be a long time before either of us do that again.
never know, man.
You may never kill a bigger bull than that one.
Probably not. We're gonna try.
I definitely will. Let's get.
We're gonna try though.
Oh,
It's
man.
doable. I mean, look at Daryl Lowe's bull. That guy's a freaking tank, dude.
What was it? 350?
Something like that. Something.
It's just retardedly
358 or 348 or
Yeah.
something just out of this world. They don't get bigger than that.
Yeah. I mean, they found sheds off of bulls in areas we hunt that would go 380,
370.
370.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? It'd be like putting my 350 bull up to your 320 bull. It'd look like that, like a raghorn. That's crazy. But so moving forward, what does a Brad Powell bull look like now? Like, what do you not
Just any
shoot?
mature animal.
Just a mature herd bull,
A mature bull. Like, I'm not going to kill a rag
unless it's last week.
until I do.
Until I do.
I've only killed, I guess you could consider, raggy. I've only killed one in a
The
spike.
one, the
Everything else has been, good fives or bigger.
the world's smallest 4-point.
Yeah. So I killed a spike, small little rag 4, and then I have like, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 220 to 230 ish fives.
Would you consider those rags?
Some people might.
I'd say they're
they're your average herd bull 5 is what they are.
right.
I don't know if they're rags. When I think rag, and a lot of guys might be different.
I think
I think rag
220.
is like a freaking, 2 to 3 year old bull, 2 to 4 year old bull.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got a spike, and I've got two rags, and then that bull right there, the pack mount bull.
Yeah.
I count him as like like your typical 5-point herd bull.
So yes, that's
And he's like 235.
yeah, it's a nice bull.
Yeah, that to me is not a rag.
No,
But
no.
like I'd say sub 215, sub 220 is.
A lot of guys like that hunt east though would probably consider that a raggish bull.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because there's a lot of rags that are killed every year over east. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of small bulls killed over there, but I think the same quality of bulls are getting killed. Like a lot of 200s to 220s are getting killed. You just have that opportunity for 350, 370.
Right.
It's just your lower end's the same. It's just you have a much bigger higher end.
Yeah.
But It's hard to say because like that rag right there, the one on the wall, to me that's a rag.
That is, yeah.
That's a rag 5. Yeah, that's a rag 5.
The next year, if that bull made it one more year, he'd probably be a
He'd look a lot like that bull.
yeah.
The other bull.
Yep.
But yeah, well, is there anything else you want to cover before we wrap this thing up?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
If you got anything, just
Crazy good year, dude. And
was there any questions online?
no, I think people just said some funny shit on there.
Yeah, that one guy.
What did he say?
Something about a fucking pumpkin spice latte or some shit.
Oh yeah.
The same guy that said, I didn't know Justin Bieber was such an elk slayer. Fuck you. No, I'm joking, dude. I can take a joke.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And shout out to Annihilator Broadheads. I want to say best broadheads on the market. If you buy them, Joe Scolari sent you.
No, that guy that I was just talking about, that was talking.
Yeah, what was his name?
I don't know his name, but I was looking at his shit. That guy kills some serious elk. He just killed a bull in Arizona that is a freak, dude.
Look at that.
That's a nice buck.
Derek Carlton just posted that.
Nice.
Jesus Christ, that's a giant buck.
Hold on. This guy's name is like...
If that buck's a straight up 4-point, he'll go 140, 150.
Travis Van Dyke.
Okay.
Yeah, look at this fucking bull he killed, dude. Look at this thing. That is a stud. Arizona.
Who's this mask guy? Blacktail 24/7.
Jeff Mask.
Jeff Mask.
Yeah, he kills some big
Dude,
bulls too. Yep.
2 years in a row, they killed 4 giant bulls.
Is it 4 or 3?
I thought it was 4. Maybe it's 3.
He's killed some studs, dude. He's got like a 2.
If he listens to this, shout out to that guy. That guy is
He's a killer.
fucking killing it.
Yep.
Like, holy crap. I wonder if he's got gate keys or something, something happening there. If he's got special access to a gate key or something. Or if he's like legit public land, anybody could go kill these elk.
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
I know. Is it bad that my mind automatically goes to like gate key?
They probably think the same shit with us.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Those guys have some sort of access.
Some sort of fucking douchebags. Yeah. No. We pay for our gate key. I can tell you that. That's about it. But I wonder if these like
it's public land.
It's public as public can be, really. I mean, it's actually probably more crowded than public. Like,
oh, for sure.
Like,
especially these days.
I'll run into way more people.
Yeah.
Than like 15, 20 rigs a day now.
You're actually probably not going to see me up there a lot. I'm trying to find.
I want to go find some news.
Things.
Yeah, I want to go find some different bulls to play with. But,
and this year, man, after this year, hunting new ground, I love it.
Yeah.
So next year, I would love to, find something else that I've never hunted before and just.
What sucks is that it's so close to home.
It is,
You're
but
driving by it.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm not chasing the same elk year after year, and I'm not seeing. What really got to me and why I wanted to change it up, dude, running into the same people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, there's, I won't say names. There's this guy. There's this guy.
Yeah.
I fucking see him every day.
That's
I like all those guys. They're all cool, but it's like, dude, I don't want to fucking see these guys anymore. I want to go do my own thing.
Yeah.
So.
No, I hear you. Well, with the restrictions we had this year, it was even more bottlenecked.
Right.
It was ridiculous.
Dude, that might have actually set you up.
It could have.
To kill that big bull.
It could have. It's hard to say because they acted like crackheads from day one. And there was people in there I know that were chasing them prior. Like, dude, I was while I was in there working. I would see trucks parked at gates every day that were like well inside the closure area. Either they didn't know or didn't care, and I didn't care enough to get their numbers.
Right.
But it was like,
I'm not that kind of guy.
No, not unless you fuck me, and then I am that guy. I'll turn you in.
Anymore, I don't fucking care.
It just
if you want to be a shitbag, go for it.
Yeah,
it doesn't bug me.
Yeah, I don't know. If somebody screws with me, I'm definitely turning them in. If they mess up,
I'll fucking have a talk with them.
Mountain justice.
I might throw some hands, but I've only been arrested once.
See, if I got in a fight, I'd probably get my ass kicked. I've never been in a fight.
I've been in a few.
Never been.
Really?
I've never been punched in the face.
I haven't been in a fight in a long time, but I've been in a few.
I don't have the body of a guy who could take a punch.
I didn't really,
Dude.
I was like a scrappy little kid when I was young, but then once high school hit, I didn't really fight at all.
I couldn't
After
fight.
high school.
Dude, how
Like
big
when
were
you-
you
when
when you
you-
graduated?
I don't even remember. 175,
Okay.
180. But
If a guy like
the
me came
whole
up and talked
drinking
shit
stage,
to you,
like when the party stage,
Yeah.
definitely got in a few scraps.
I could
got
see
a few
that.
black eyes.
dude, if a guy like my size, 125 pounds,
Yeah.
fucked with you, I would get my shit pushed down. Like, so coming from a chance like where you're always the smallest kid on the playground,
Don't go to prison.
I'm like, dude, I'm not going to fucking get in a fist fight. I'm going to get my ass kicked. I mean, the other guy's going to know he was in a fight, but I'm still going to get freaking pounded.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm not going to, why do that? But
Fighting's lame, dude. It really
there's
is.
no point.
No.
And another thing, I was always so scared of getting in a
That's
fight.
why I quit drinking, dude. It's just like when you're at a thing and there's someone acting up being a fucking idiot, dude,
Leave.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the problem. Like, I always thought if I got in a fight and I like blacked out or did something crazy
Yeah.
and I actually pushed somebody down and their head hit a curb or
Right.
you are going to jail.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're in the right or the wrong. If the other person is a bitch and wants to like they started it and you finished it, you could still go to jail. You could have that. It's a felony or it's prison. Like, it doesn't take hardly anything for what's that? Punching somebody felony.
I have no idea.
I don't know, but it doesn't take much to go to jail
No, not
for that.
Nope.
So it's
Not
like
anymore.
it's just not worth it. But so I'll just keep talking shit on the podcast from a distance.
But it's almost 8:00.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I think we covered our bowls. I mean, I wish mine was more had more bugling and shit, but I
Still got a big bowl,
I
man.
got a big bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up legitimately passing on 4 bowls with inside 40 yards.
Yeah.
40 yards.
And look what you came up with.
And look what I came up with.
Yeah.
And I missed a bowl at 80 because I didn't.
Hey, man, I was right there with you. I was starting to second guess myself when I passed. When Nick shot the one, I won't even consider really that a pass because I would have shot him if Nick didn't want to
You
shoot.
passed at the opportunity.
I found that bowl,
Yeah.
told Nick it's his, but if he doesn't want it,
I'm shooting it.
I'm shooting it. But
Yeah.
I don't know, like
That's kind of what I did with you last year.
what
Because I shot
I just
that.
lost all train of thought. Where are we going with this?
I don't know. You were going somewhere with it.
Well, what did you just say?
I don't remember.
Yeah, fuck. We're talking about passing on bowls.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is. First year I've ever passed on bowls, and
Don't
it
regret
paid
it.
off.
Paid off for me, too.
Yeah.
Well, if you didn't fill your tag, would you feel the same?
No. No.
I still don't have the I have too much, I don't know if it's ego or desire, but if I did not fill an elk tag, I would be pretty devastated.
Mm-hmm.
I'd feel, like I said a million times on the podcast, my whole season hinges on whether I kill a bull or not.
Right.
I could shoot a 200-inch buck, and if I didn't kill a bull, I'm going to have that empty space,
Yeah.
and I don't like that empty space.
Dude, the wife held out strong too.
Did she really?
I mean, she could
Coulda
have killed a
smoked a cow.
cow so many times, and she did not want to kill a cow.
Right?
She wanted to hold out for a bull, and we chased that fucking giant, other big 7x6 around so close so many times, man.
I might be drawing a tag next year, which will take me out of the
And I
area.
didn't hear any whining out of her either yesterday after season was over with. She's whatever. So,
Yeah, she's also a badass, though, too.
yeah.
Yeah. Shelby didn't whine either, though. Shelby hung it in there. She's like, 7 years of bad luck for all the good luck I had.
Right.
She's just like Penny. She's one of the guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, she hunts just as hard as any guy I've ever met.
I
So.
finally killed a bigger bull than my wife. Got nothing on me now.
Now you can get back on top.
Yep.
I hope she finds that one funny. Does she listen to the podcast? She does.
She does.
She does, yeah.
She'll tell me if I sound stupid or not.
Yeah. I'll probably get a text message from him like, you're an idiot. But, all right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And if you guys want to hear anything else from Brad or I, I'll post when
I'll
this
try to make it
upload.
over Thursday.
You want to be Dan? Be in
I'll
it?
try.
Sweet.
We'll see. We'll see how work goes.
Yeah.
What
You can
time-
help me interview everybody.
What time is it?
It's going to be at 7:30.
7:30.
I told everybody,
Oh,
get
yeah,
here
I
at
can make
7. Start recording at 7:30.
Copy.
Thursday night. And then, and then I'll try and get that one up too. But I'm going to upload this one probably tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then try and get the next one up then the following week. But you and I don't really need to tell our stories, so we can just interview the rest of the guys.
Yeah, we already told ours. We don't need to hear it again.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it again.
No.
My story,
I'm curious
anyways.
to talk to everyone else. Can't wait to hear Bubba's story. Is this going to be short and sweet? Was it one day? Tagged out opening day?
That's the 4th bull he's killed opening day.
Huh. That fucking guy.
Yeah. He was a big hit on the podcast.
He's funny.
What's going to happen is that him and Caleb are going to be the big hit on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told him, you guys just need to do an episode a month for me, and I'll upload it.
Yeah.
And I'll just let you guys do whatever you want to talk about.
I accidentally called Bubba because I didn't save his number.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't even know who the fuck I was trying to call. It was one of my other buddies, I think, that I don't have his number saved, and I called him up. This is after I killed my bull. I'm like, hey, man, what's up? He's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hold on a second. And I had to, fucking
Who is this?
look at my number. I'm like, who the fuck did I just call? I'm like, hey, man, what's up? He's like, oh, not much. I'm like, it's gonna sound stupid, but who is this? He's like, it's Bubba. I'm like, oh, hey, man. Wasn't trying to call you, but fuck. I guess since I have you on the phone, what's
man.
up? So
Yeah.
I talked to him for a
Well,
bit.
be prepared to drink hams.
Oh, fuck
So,
that.
But
I'm not drinking, dude. I'm
I'm not drinking
sober.
either. Yeah, I need to start hitting the gym. But all right, guys. Well, that's the podcast, and we'll catch you later this week, probably. So appreciate you for listening.